Hey guys, it's Susan, and I'm here with our Inner Circle member, Joanne Litz, and we're here for 15-minute feedback. Now, if you don't know what 15-minute feedback is, it's kind of like a hot seat. It's where one of our Inner Circle members gets chosen to ask one burning question, and I jump in and tell them what I think. So it allows me to get to know them better, get a good idea of what it is they're trying to achieve, and it lets them get past something that's maybe been, a thorn in their side for a while. So really, you're taking one for the team, Joanne. You're going to show everybody the behind the scenes at your business. So thank you so much. You have been an Inner Circle member for a good long time now, and you're very active in the group. So appreciate that. And you're also doing reliable revenue. Yay, you. And I know you've had some good results, but I know you still have some things that are driving you crazy. So we're here to talk about that today. But first, before we start, can you tell everybody kind of what you do, what your product is, where you sell it, and really that burning question that you have?
Okay, hi everybody. I have a business where I make women's clothing. It's all handmade in Philadelphia. And I sell via website. I have a brick and mortar store. I also still have some wholesale accounts, as well as I do events, like craft show events.
So you have a lot going on.
I have a lot of different revenue streams. I have 4 revenue streams.
Yeah, and online is something that you would really like to grow. That's your
online goal. Is where I'd like to be. Totally.
I get it for sure. Okay, yeah. And your burning question is something very specific to you, but what's great about it is it's a question we hear all the time. So tell everybody what's driving you crazy.
Well, I struggle a lot with Facebook ads. So I have this one ad with this product I thought was a really cool product, and I'm getting 5-cent clicks, which is great on the ad, but I haven't had any sales. So I can't figure out, whether I should stick with the ad, what should I do, and why aren't I getting sales?
Why you're not getting sales?
Yeah.
So first of all, we talk about this all the time, that really our goal is not necessarily to get sales with ads, it's to get people to our website the first time so they get closer to conversion. But what I would tell you, everybody, with Joanne's product, it's kind of a genius idea. Like, it's one of those things that is a really good concept, and she is getting a lot of click-throughs to her site. So I hear this a lot, though, that people are getting low-cost clicks, they're not getting sales, and the first thing that worries me is that, are they getting this product or this, is the messaging right and attracting the right people to your website? So what I'd like to do is just kind of give everybody a look at what you've got set up in the Ads Manager so that we can show them. Because I think, you are spending $3 a day on this?
Yes.
So not a lot, but we'd like that $3 a day to work for you. So I'm going to ask you to share your screen.
Okay.
Let's pull up that Ads Manager and see what you've got. Because even at $3 a day, the goal with that is really to look for good quality traffic, right? We want good quality traffic that we can retarget, we can get on your email list, and we can nurture them to a sale. So where we are here is we're in the ad set level of Joanne's ad that's getting all this excitement. Now this is her report for December, her traffic bootcamp report. And that's the report that we use to really hone in on the things that are important. So you can see she's getting 5-cent results on view content, but if you scroll over to the right, we'll see that we're also getting 5-cent clicks, unique web clicks. So in the month of December, what this is telling us is that 981 people hit Joanne's site at 5 cents a pop. That's really good, right? No wonder that's an exciting result. But we also see from this that there's no purchase conversions on it at all. And the CPM is indecent. It's decent, but there's no purchases on it. So if we look at that, and let's just qualify that with the target on this ad is your lookalike of your 180-day traffic, and you had added in an interest of Lululemon and also an interest of yoga. And you also took your audience and you defined ages, I believe, 20 to 50.
Mhm.
Women 20 to 50. Okay. So you took a lookalike and then you added some rules to it. So now what we want to do is say, okay, 981 is a lot of traffic. What happened with that traffic when they hit your website? And there's a way that you can find that in your Google Analytics. A couple of ways. I'm going to show you one today. So this is a source medium report. Now you can all go to it by going to Google Analytics, going to acquisition, then all traffic, then source medium. And it gives you a list of referring traffic starting from the most down to the least. And so what we can see is that for Joanne's business in December, where we know we had 981 unique web visitors, that we actually got traffic from Facebook of 2,373. But here's where there's a problem. Now, your bounce rate is already a little bit high. Well, it's a lot high at 79%. If we look at the bounce rate for that traffic compared to your average, it's significantly higher than the average, right? The bounce rate for that mobile Facebook traffic is actually 93%, so it's a lot higher. The number of pages people look at is 1.15 on average, whereas your average is 2.10. And then the session duration is the real tell, right? 11 seconds. It's really not much. It's, just enough to watch part of that. It's a little video that Joanne has actually, so it's enough to watch part of that video. And so it's really not good quality traffic is what I would say. It's not the best traffic at all. So let's talk about that. There are some sales from Facebook, but I suspect it's not from the people who watch the video because if it is, likely they would have caught it in your Facebook report. So let's go back. Let's stop sharing your screen and let's talk about this. What I think you can do about it too. So the first thing is the results tell us that your ad copy is good. Your ad copy is good. People are interested and they're interested enough to click. And it also tells us that I think that you talk about these sleeves in a bag. I think you have a pretty genius idea with that. That sleeves in a bag is a good idea. That's a good idea. But it says to me that there's some sort of disconnect too, because your bounce rate and your lack of anyone going deeper into your site tells us there's a disconnect. I think what's happening is your win is that you're getting them interested enough to click, but then there's a disconnect between what they think they're going to get when they click through and what they actually get, what you're giving them. So there's some sort of disconnect. They're not finding whatever it was they thought they would find on the page. Now, we talked about this a little bit before, 15-minute feedback, and we talked about some ideas that maybe, maybe there's some modifications that you can do to make that happen. But that all takes time. Joanne's a designer and she's got like 5 million balls in the air. So really, is that the best use of your time right now? But what this says to me is even though you've only put $51, I think you spent $51 on that ad in December, it's kind of not the best use of that money. We could probably get you a lot better results with that money. So even though we think we're getting a lot of clicks for that money, I think a different ad might cost you a little bit more, but you'd actually get the right kind of person. So you have a bricks and mortar and you have a website. Mm-hmm. Tell me, if you had to describe the person that actually makes a purchase, not the walk-bys, who would that be?
They're 40 and over.
40 and over?
40 and over, yeah. And they're a big mix, but a lot of moms. A lot of moms with grown children going into college. And then I also have retired people that come in that are older.
So older. So you don't sell a lot to 20-year-olds.
No, they come in, they look, they like it, but they can't afford it.
And you're not, I was going to say, you're not TJ Maxx.
No.
Right? So yeah, Joanne's, I would imagine your average sale is over $100 with your
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, okay, so you don't have a lot. So the first thing is we should stop driving anybody who's under 40 to your website.
Okay.
Because even though they might be interested, they're not buying. right? So we need to stop driving those people to your website. And I would say that the other thing we talked about the other day is you do actually have one product that outsells everything. And you knew what it was in a heartbeat. And what is it?
Well, my tunics.
Yeah, it's a tunic.
Yeah.
And fast and easy for people to wear. It's the fit is probably really forgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, people don't have to think about their size and whether they're going to look good in it, or a lot of things that might have been a problem with the sleeves in a bag. So that's your number one product. And so it's a lot easier to take something that people already love and amplify that than it is to come up with something brand new and sell it to people and get them interested in wanting it. And so if you're going to spend that $50 a day or a month, that's what I would spend it on. And so here's what I think you should do. I think you should go right back Traffic Bootcamp style and set up 3 different creatives on your Facebook page. So 3 different posts. So it's 3 different images, all with the same copy, right? And it's that best-selling product. And I would even be inclined to hedge my bet by setting up the best-selling color, because that'll get you, or the color that gets the most attention. Sometimes the thing that gets the most attention isn't the thing that they ultimately buy, right?
Yeah, actually, I don't even really know what the best color is.
Okay.
I don't. But I do it. I do that style in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
So I know that when I do some specialized dyeing, I get a better result.
Okay, so there you go. So that's your first clue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something you could talk about in your copy. So you want to do 3 different images, 1 copy, your call to action, which gets people right back to your website. And then you want to do just like Traffic Bootcamp, where you set up that campaign, you set up a conversion goal, but it's view content, which you've done many times before. We're testing really those 3 images to see which one people like the best.
Okay.
And we're going to use, well, actually, we really can't use your 180-day web visitors audience. You need to delete that audience.
Okay.
Why? You need to delete it because we've been sending a lot of the wrong people to your website.
Oh.
But all is not lost. We can build it again. So, but what I would say you want to do is either use use your email audience, because you've got a decent email list and you've got that quiz that is generating really solid leads. So take that email audience. I want you to make a lookalike of that email audience, and let's start there. Start with that. But I don't want you to put any interest targets or any demographic filtering.
Okay.
Because those people have taken the action to be on your email list. They're probably pre-qualified. So let's just let the lookalike do its work. So with your 3, just like we do in Traffic Bootcamp, with your 3 ads, you're going to spend $1 a day and leave it for, let's say, a week. Let's leave it for a week and then see which image is best. And then you'll put your entire $50 budget on that one.
Okay.
And you'll be good to go. So you'll select your best result. And of course, you decide by cost per unique link click. And if there's no clear winner, then go to cost per view content, go to CPM and you can ask me, but usually there's a pretty clear winner. And so you'll decide that, and then you go ahead and spend your $3 a day on that. So that's the thing I think you should do. Set up the 3 posts, let them go for a few days, turn them into ads, decide the winner, and then go ahead and let's start driving the right people to your site. So in 30 days, you can make a new 30-day web visitor audience. And then in 60 days, you can do 60-day, and you will eventually get yourself a quality web visitor audience that you can really rely on. But I think your email list is pretty solid, right?
I have a question.
Go for it.
So the 3 images that I use, this particular tunic, like I said, I do it. What happened to you?
Oh, I'm just going to start sharing my screen.
Okay. The tunic that I do in a 1 color hand dye, and then I do it in all these other kinds of dyeing techniques, like I was saying. So can I do like one that's just the solid one and then one that's the multi? They're all different colors.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
We're keeping it real here. So you're saying you want to test the variations.
Yeah, but they're different prices. So is that a bad thing?
I think it's not a bad thing. I think the trick is going to be, where do you send them? Where you want the one that gets the attention, so you can send them all to the same place. That's what I would say. Do you have
Oh,
a tunic collection, or a page of all just tunics, or
I,
even a search of tunics, and you can send them to that search link?
I do have a page, a collection called Tunics,
Okay.
but I was going to specifically do one specific tunic that I do in a number of different ways. And I call them different names, and they're all different prices.
So
That be
I'm going to
confusing?
let you decide on that one.
All right.
What I think you have to keep in mind when you're doing it is, how do I create a test where there's only one variable?
Okay. Okay.
Right? That's what you
Yeah.
want to do, is create a test where there's only one variable. So if you're going to do the ones that are all the different hand dyed stuff, I would be inclined to test 3 colors of that first. If it takes you, like, you could turn your wait period down to 3 days, right?
Okay.
So, because we know 3 days is where we like to check. So you could, if it takes you 2 weeks to find the right one, it's worth it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do your hand dyed as one, and then your solids or whatever it is as another test, or if you're in a hurry, instead of testing 3, test 6, right?
Okay.
You're the boss of this. I'm just the
Okay.
bossy one. It's just, the important part is, if it's only one variable, then you're really getting a clean test, right? You know that it's the same.
Right. I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
It helps you. It really helps you identify which one is best. If there's not a bunch of things, you can't say, oh, the copy was different, or this is hand dyed as opposed to solid, or whatever it is.
So like if I use the same, whatever wording, and each picture is different, and I'm sending them to the general tunic page, it doesn't really matter.
Nope.
I'll still
Because
get
their first thing that gets everybody is tunic, like the image, right? Before
Right.
the copy. They don't even read the copy unless they're interested in the image.
right.
First
Okay.
thing that grabs everybody's image. So even
Yeah.
if you hand people off to that tunic collection, you're
Mm-hmm.
getting them close to where you want them to be. And we already know from conversion school that they have to hit your site more than once, most people,
Mm-hmm.
over a short period of time. So even if you send them to that tunic page, we can still, your dynamic retargeting is going to click in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can hopefully get some of them on your email list, and you'll be able to get them back. So I think that's
Okay.
fine, the tunic collection.
All
And you're
right.
speaking of this, it's, when you're sending the wrong traffic to your site, this is for everybody, not necessarily just you, and you're spending money on retargeting, now you're wasting twice, right? You're wasting on the initial spend, and then we're wasting on the dynamic, on the retargeting spend.
Right.
It's really important not to get overexcited about those cheap clicks if they're not working.
Mm-hmm.
Good exercise. So when we do 15-minute feedback, I try and leave everybody with 3 things. And so I was on your page yesterday. So your first thing is posts, your second thing is ads. Now this is your third thing. You have, being the designer is kind of like a burden and a gift. I'm sure you know what I mean. But one of the things you have the luxury of is you really can bring what you're working on to your audience frequently and really in a real way. When I had WeSqueak, I had to go to our warehouse in Texas to bring anything real that wasn't, my office to them. You have the ability to do this. And I can see that you're doing some of this, but what you're not doing is taking it to the next level. And so this little video got you some engagement. And I think that you could really do something with this. This was posted on your page without copy. I don't know whether it came right from the app you videoed it in or whatever, but I think you could create some really solid copy for this video or a video like this. And I want you to talk to it like you talk to your friends. Talk to it. I want you to create the copy like you talk to your friends. Like, hey, I woke up this morning and decided if nothing else, I was going to make something fun today. And so what I want is a beautiful scarf. I know you're making a scarf in this. I wanted a beautiful scarf that will match everything, and I already know it fits me, or something, because you're a little bit assy, you know, a little bit fun, right? You make fun of yourself. And so I think you could do something that's humorous and shows people that you're the real deal. And then I would say in this post like this, I would say something like, if you want to see more of my, more of what we're working on here at the Steel Pony, click here, and just send them back to, you know, one of the great pages on your website that features, like, this is so cool what you do, right? You're very talented. So features product that would be in a similar vein. Like, I saw on here somebody wanted to buy it, and you're like, nope. And I see that you post stuff and people buy it.
Yeah, they do. But I wasn't wanting to sell that piece. So
yeah, that's okay. That's even better, because it makes them want something, the next thing.
Yeah, got it.
And so, guys, this is just such a simple video. I'm sure this is an app that you use, but it's just a sped up version. So they get the idea. But I guess what I'm saying is you're so close to this, you don't realize what a luxury and an advantage this is.
Well, actually, I kind of do, in that this was the first one. You did something with the woman that paints on the glasses.
Yes, and
that's what got me thinking and trying to find ways I could do small videos that I could put together and then speed them up.
Good.
That's what this is.
Take it to the next step.
This is my first one.
And turn it. Well, it's great. So take it to the next step and turn it into an ad.
Okay.
That was your instruction.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Is I would take this or something similar if you want to be, you know, tighten it up or something. But I think it's kind of good just the way it is, even if it says 8:16 a.m.
I know. I don't know why it has that. Can't get rid of it.
Imperfect action, right? So take that. I would set it up as a video views ad.
Okay.
I would hit 2 ad sets. I would hit that lookalike of my email list that you're going to create, and I would maybe hit my email list. So, and even if you only do $1 a day for each, it's just a video views ad. It does have a link in it. You're not going to get a ton of clicks as a video views ad, because really the goal of that ad is to get people to consume the video. But you know how we talk about, you know, we all have our perfect thing, and we know that you have to get somebody back. Like, we looked at Edwin's, and he needed to get people back, I think 2 to 5 times in 1 to 3 days to really get a sale. And so we looked at that, and that was the thing that is going to work for him. So how can he find other ways to get people back to his site that aren't quite as obvious as email? And this would be one of those things.
Okay.
Warm audience with that.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting. Yeah. I mean, really, when you got your web visitor audience back, you could target this to a 30-day web visitor audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions? That's it.
Yeah. I'm excited to get started.
Yeah, I'm excited too. You have an amazing opportunity here. You just have to figure out what's going to get you to where you want to go in the smoothest path. So we talked about this before, that you need to figure out really what you want to happen. And then you have all the tools already that you need to make that happen. You have a great product. That's half the battle. Now we just have to make the marketing great too.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for taking one for the team. That's so kind of you to share this information. You've helped lots of people today. So I am going to actually stop the recording. I'm going to stay on with you for a sec, and we'll see everybody else back in the group.